Hi, I am Amy Lohr from Oils Wonderland, and this is the Creating a Toxic Free Home class. And I'm really excited to present this content because I think it's really essential to learn and be more informed about the stuff that's in our homes and in our products, and eventually what's getting in our bodies and what we can do with that. Information and finding alternative solutions that are really the healthiest options that we can use as a support for our body and to use for cleaning and personal care that aren't actually creating more problems. So that's really what this class is about. And I really hope that your perspective on some things will change. Sometimes that will be a little bit daunting or a little bit unsettling as you realize what's kind of been lurking in your homes, but not to worry that I also do a good job of saying, okay, now here's what you can do. Here's how you can empower yourself and take some really, really simple steps to make some changes that are going to matter for your health and your family's health. Um, so yeah, we're going to learn how to basically kick poison to the curb. And you'll see here that in this slide, it's featuring Thieves and Young Living. And I want to say that yes, uh, I'll be talking about those products and that company. I am a distributor of Young Living products, but also regardless of whether you proceed with purchasing any products from Young Living, you're going to get a lot of information about how to live healthier and how to live with less chemicals in your home. So in the very least, using as I'm talking about any products or I'm talking about Young Living, what I want you to do if you don't use any of those products or that's new to you or you're not sure if you want to yet, what you can do is actually look at it as kind of a model for what you're going to compare against the other products that you're looking at or exploring, or if you're looking at making products, because some people do that. Um, Young Living really is a great model for the best quality of natural products as well as the purest essential oils. So you can use some of their standards as a test and comparison for some of the other products and companies that you're using. And you might really find that Young Living is kind of the best standard and you want to go that route. So I always think it's appropriate that if there is a good company out there and good products, connect you with that. So you're not wasting your time sampling a bunch of products and wasting a lot of money. So you'll be empowered and informed to all of those options. So first, I want to talk a little bit about just my journey with some of this stuff and why I care about getting chemicals out of my home and just my journey with all of that. So about 3 years ago is when I started using more natural products and started to get introduced to essential oils as well. And prior to that, for about 15 years, I struggled with issues with allergies, asthma, digestive health issues. I was breaking out in hives with pretty much any products that I would use. I would sneeze and cough and have asthma flare ups, no matter what I was using, if it was organic and natural, if it was the purest on the market and had all these great labels attached to it. I was still having these symptoms. I was getting allergy shots every week. I was taking steroids, 2 inhalers a day, and still just not having any relief. So fed up, I basically said, okay, I'm going to explore all of the alternative and complementary uh, techniques out there or supplements, whatever it is that I haven't actually utilized, I'm going to try it. Did it with complete skepticism because that's just how I am. Explore it, take the risk to do so, but scrutinize it. You're probably the same person. Prove to me that this actually really works and does something. So I understand that. So I explored nutritional supplements to use to actually help my body heal itself. And I went to, I think it was a massage, it was an energy healing session because I got into using Reiki. Complete skepticism. Reiki worked out great, but I got exposed to essential oils in that session when the practitioner just pulled out this bottle of essential oil. She started using it, and I was about to freak out because I was like, no way can I be exposed to aromas. Those always trigger me. This is going to be a horrible session. But they were Young Living essential oils, and I didn't react to them. I could actually smell them. I actually started to feel my airways kind of clear a little bit. So I asked her, what is that? She said it was a Young Living essential oil. And I really started to research the company. You know, what makes this company different than any of the other essential oils that I was getting and still reacting to, or the essential oils that were in the shampoo and conditioner that I was using that was making me break out. And it all came down to purity, a company that actually cared about where they sourced all of their essential oils from and controlled and regulated the farms where they actually source all of that. They own them, they partner with them. So I found a company with essential oils that didn't make me feel bad. It didn't make me sicker. It actually made me feel better and get better. So then I started to see, well, Young Living also has 600 other products. They have a cleaning line. They have a personal care product line, makeup, nutritional supplements. So since I already trusted the company with the essential oils, I started to explore some of their other products as well and found their Thieves cleaning line. Now at the time, I had really tried to make my own products as best as I could because I couldn't find anything that actually really worked. I wasted so much time and energy and money, and in the end didn't really have products that worked either. So it was so frustrating. So I was still skeptical of the Thieves line, but I gave it a try and found that, you know, not only did it work, but it also has the essential oils in it that support my health as well. And, you know, now Thieves all-purpose cleaner that is all plants. Every ingredient in it is plant-based, and I'll show you that in the slides later here today. So it's all plant-based, it's all natural, and it works with cleaning. It has essential oils in it that actually support my health, not deteriorate my health. So it's kind of been a no-brainer since then. I haven't really turned back with using their supplements, using their products. And we'll talk about today why all of this matters and what's kind of hidden in some of the products too. But I really, really hope through all of this that you start to get in better relationship with your own body and taking more time and understanding of what's really happening as you're exposed to different products in your house, getting informed about what's on the label. I'll give you some resources that you can use outside of Young Living to actually do some research on the ingredients and on the products. So you'll be very equipped by the end of this class. Let me move on to the next slide here. So I'm gonna play a video too here just to show you how the Thieves cleaning line is used in the day-to-day. This is a video of a family that's using it.
I'm a mom of 4 boys who happen to have the same birthday. Quadruplets, they're 9 years old, and my husband and I have been married for 12 years and live here in Brownsburg, Indiana. having 4 boys, cleaning up is just a constant. You always have something to pick up, to clean up, some sort of disaster that needs your attention. Before Thieves, all the cleaning was on me. When we switched over to Thieves, that was like one of my favorite things, because I was like, oh my goodness, my boys can clean the toilets. This is awesome. Like, they can start cleaning up their own messes. They've been using it ever since we made the switch. They kind of have their own chores and routines and do their own bathrooms and help with laundry. And doing dishes is a breeze now that everybody pitches in. Thieves is really gentle. I don't have to worry about it bothering my skin or wearing gloves or something to protect my skin. It's not a harsh smell or aroma to it. So we're having another boy to add to our family. I feel really good about bringing a newborn into a home that has safe products and has things that they can be around right away. I don't think we could live without Thieves.
I love in that video how she's basically saying, I'm a really busy mom, and here's how I simplify my life. I have 4 boys and 1 on the way. So I don't know if you guys are moms. I'm not, but I could imagine just the need for that. So why is natural health and natural cleaning so important? I want to give you some statistics to think about. According to the cancer.org site, 1 in 3 men and 1 in 5 women will have cancer by the age of 60. Cancer is the second most common cause of death, exceeded only by heart disease. And the American Cancer Society says that and this statistic is really the kicker, that only 5% of these cases are from gene defects, which means 90 to 95% are under our control. And that's going to be caused by things like excessive weight, tobacco use, or exposure to toxic chemicals. So it's all things that we're letting into our homes or we're choosing and letting into our bodies. So today it's really about how you can eliminate environmental toxins and pollutants and keep that risk much lower for you. The National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health studied close to 3,000 ingredients in our products at home and found 884 toxic ingredients. 314 of these caused biological mutations. 218 caused reproductive problems and issues with infertility. 146 of these caused cancerous tumors. So what's also fascinating is each and every one of these ingredients and products were allowed on the shelves, even though research has shown that they're linked to and cause these problems. So as consumers, we often make the mistake and error that because it's on the market or on the shelf, that it's safe for us as a consumer, because, you know, at least in the US, we have governmental bodies that are supposed to be regulating these products for consumers. And yes, they do, but you really need to be more informed and educated about what's still allowed and permitted into those products. So you want to take down a note of this or come back to this or listen to it, but you want to search for the organization called the Environmental Working Group, EWG, and they are an independent organization who pulls together all of this data and research that's done on any chemical or ingredient or product you could actually really imagine exists out there. And they use it to rate and review the products that are on the market, and also to rate and review individual ingredients that are in those products. So when you go to that database and you search a product or you search an ingredient, you're going to see an overall grade for that product. And then you're going to see all the ingredients listed, and you're going to see individual rank ratings. It's an A through F system. You're going to see individual ranks for the ingredients as well. And you're going to see why it's ranked that way. So if is linked to issues with infertility or respiratory issues, you're going to see that noted there. You're also going to see the research that is linked to those conclusions. Or if there's been an ingredient that hasn't had any kind of research done on it whatsoever, which is also suspect. If it's allowed in there and they haven't actually really done enough studies that have been published on the effects of that, you might not really want to trust that ingredient. And one of the number one culprits and issues around that is fragrance that is added to products, as well as essential oils. And we'll talk about that later, why that is, because there's a different qualities of essential oils out there and they're not fully regulated. So I'll get to that information in a bit. So this is really, really important when you're looking at consuming and taking products and purchasing products. The other thing is that when we're exposed, there we go. When we're exposed to chemicals, within 26 seconds after exposure, chemicals are found in measurable amounts in the human body. And the average woman applies about 300 chemicals a day to her body, and about 80 of those are even before breakfast. So really take a moment right now to think about, what is your morning routine? You know, if you take a shower in the morning or you take a shower at night, you know, what is your routine? What are you using on your body? And do you know what are in those products? And do you know what those ingredients actually really are? Your morning routine with brushing your teeth and your hair products or your makeup or your deodorant, all of those things, what's actually really in that, and what does it do? So the top 10 most dangerous chemicals in your home are air fresheners like plug-ins, candles. You could also add in any perfumes are highly toxic because of what I just talked about. Chemical cleaning supplies for any of the surfaces in your home, or your laundry soap, your dishwasher soaps, all of those things. Thinking about for a moment what you actually have in your home and what you're using. Let's talk about candles for a second. They're filled with dangerous petrochemicals. They're actually, the main byproduct is petrochemicals. That's the waxy substance. Unless if you're obviously getting beeswax candles, that's a safer route to go. But your general candles are, there's a statistic here from Dr. Andrew Sled, who specializes in environmental toxicity, that says burning a candle in your home for 2 hours is the same as smoking a pack of cigarettes. So that I was really horrified at that piece. I don't use candles very regularly, only occasionally ceremonially. And also 40% of candles are made with wicks containing lead, and that's still even the case nowadays. And obviously that's not safe to breathe in. So making a simple swap from candles to a diffuser, which is, if you're not familiar with diffusers that are used with essential oils, what I'm thinking particularly of are the electronic diffusers, where you put water in the container, you plug it in, you add a few drops of essential oil, and it disperses through the air. And what's really important about using diffusers is you don't want a diffuser that uses heat that will actually deteriorate the essential oils. You also want one that doesn't have a low quality plastic that essential oils will also deteriorate because they will leach the petrochemicals out of plastic, unless if it's a specific kind of hard plastic. So you want to make note of that too. So you will do a huge service to yourself by eliminating all of those fragrances and aromatics and candles, and instead using essential oils or using a diffuser. One of the popular ones that we use with Young Living has a candle feature. So it illuminates very nicely as kind of that ambiance of that candle while it's diffusing essential oils. So use something like that instead. So one of the number one poisons in the family home is all of your laundry detergents. And the reason being, you're actually poisoned in 3 ways. First, by actually washing the clothes. And as you're washing the clothes or drying the clothes, those chemicals go in the air in your home and you're breathing that in. Second, when you're actually wearing the clothes, those chemicals are now touching your skin and your skin is absorbing it all day long. And then third, when the clothing is in your drawers or in your closet and it's outgassing those chemicals while you're sleeping in your bedroom. So you really want to make sure that you're looking at laundry soaps and detergents that are all natural, that they don't have chemicals in them that are known to be harmful and toxic for your health. And Young Living has as part of their Thieves cleaning line, a laundry detergent that you can use safely, for all of your laundry needs too. So other dangers are things like hairspray, gel, shampoo, deodorant. Deodorant with aluminum is actually linked as one of the leading causes of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. So you want to look at alternatives for that as well. And Young Living does also have deodorant. All of this information about the most dangerous chemicals in the home, it comes from a governmental study called the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's Top 10 Killer Household Chemicals, if you want to check that out and search for that. So really, to protect your family, begin with making these small changes in your home. Start with some of these biggest offenders. Make some of these simple changes. It doesn't have to be really challenging. So what happens when you're chemically overloaded? Well, you already heard a little bit about it from my story with you, but other things that might occur is lethargy, inability to focus, having problems sleeping, chronic inflammation, unexplained pain, fibromyalgia, skin issues, acne, hormonal shifts. There's actually what's called an endocrine disruptor chemicals, EDCs, that are chemicals that are found in a lot of products or in the air pollution from facilities and things like that, that when we breathe them in, they directly negatively affect our hormones. And what's horrible about that is our hormones are directly linked to the functioning of any of our body systems. Our hormones are necessary for any of our systems to function properly. So when that's disrupted, anything can be disrupted. But one of the first indicators is you can mentally or emotionally notice a lot of shifts or swings in your mood, mental fog, lack of clarity. So if you're, for instance, trying to work through mental and emotional stuff, what could be doing you a disservice are any of the chemicals that are in your home. Or there's bad air pollution out. I live in Pittsburgh and we have some of the worst pollution in the nation. So if there's a bad air quality day out, you go outside, you get exposed to that, suddenly you're not thinking as clearly, you're not speaking as clearly, you're exhausted, you're overwhelmed, you're emotional, you could cry at anything, and you're kind of like, what is just happening? Well, it's not just your emotions. Rarely is it just your emotions. There's a lot of other things that could be happening there. So what makes Young Living a bit different, or quite different really, with their quality? They have a standard that they have termed as the seed to seal standard. So seed is though the seeds that you're putting in the ground for the plants, to seal where we're sealing the essential oils in the bottle and shipping them off to you. It's a standard of purity, and it really means that you're not getting that chemical overload. You can trust the name because they're actually focused on three main pillars: sourcing, science, and standards. So they're looking at where they actually source the essential oils and ultimately their other ingredients from, that they're of the best source. So they have farms all throughout the world. They're an international company that they own or partner with those farms, which means that they regulate the quality, they regulate the standards. And since Young Living's been around for 25 years and they're the leader in the essential oil industry, they actually have, brought on, I believe it's 35 different scientists and researchers to research how to harvest these plants at the peak time, how to tend to them in a way that's sustainable, that isn't killing off the land or killing the plant. I mean, you can even look at this one picture where it's lavender growing on this tilted hillside. That's really something, it's probably the best conditions for the lavender. But when you look at actually harvesting or cultivating that, that's going to be really tedious. And they tend to not use, they use as little machines as possible, because machines on land will also deteriorate the biome of the land and the dirt. So just like we need certain biome in our skin and gut, the earth does as well. And if you kill that off, it's now blighted land. So they use any kind of manual labor that they can to actually cultivate and harvest. And you're also looking then at more cost. So there's a lot of reduced cost with using machines or using chemicals to extract essential oils, but they don't cut those corners because they're caring more about the quality of the plants. Here's where you can see the different farms that they own throughout the world, and they try their best to cultivate the plants in their native habitat, but also recognizing that when we're looking at plants, there isn't necessarily native with plants, because plants and their seeds are carried by birds and wind and rain all over the place. So they're also meant to adapt and be moved around as well. But you can see here how they're cultivating farms throughout the world. Okay, I got a little ahead of myself with some of my stuff, so I'm taking a moment to look where we're at in my notes. Okay, so I already talked, mostly introduced Young Living to you. Yeah, let's actually watch a video here. I can get to that. There you go. I'm not sure if it's going to let me play this video. It's not. So that video was going to talk a little bit more about the seed to steel standards. We're just going to skip over that because I think I spoke to that well enough. But what are essential oils? They are the most powerful and important part of the plant. Essential oils are actually extracted from shrubs, stems, fruit, leaves, flowers, the resin or the bark or even the roots of the plant. So it's taking the plant material and typically distilling that with steam. And through that steam distillation, we're getting the essential oils that are floating to the surface of that. Now, what you need to know is if we're using too much heat in that distillation process, the quality of the essential oils will be deteriorated. If you're harvesting not at peak time, which might be only a couple hour window for those plants, especially for flowers, then the quality can be deteriorated as well. You can really lose some of the constituents that are the power of the essential oils. So Young Living is really working to make sure that all of that is regulated and controlled and picked at the peak with it. The other thing to know is that essential oils are the plant's first line of defense against any attack to it. So that's the purpose that they're serving for the plant. If there's a fungus or there's a insects or environmental conditions, essential oils in the plant evolve and change and adapt based on those conditions and become the defense against that. So that's where you can also see and understand the power that they can have for us too. So earlier I had talked about quality and purity with essential oils and why it's different when looking at some of those products I was using that were labeled as natural and organic and had essential oils included in them. Or I was buying some other essential oils from various companies that I didn't know too much about, but wanted to try essential oils. But I could tell that I could smell plant material in it, but I could also smell something else. And here's the reason why. It's very difficult for any regulating body to actually regulate essential oils because they're coming from plants that their conditions are always changing. So think about what I just said, where essential oils are the first line of defense for plants, but they're evolving and adapting to the conditions around them, which are, of course, ever changing: heat, temperature, seasons, different insects, different fungi. So they will adapt alongside all of that. That means that on an individual plant, let's say a lavender plant, throughout the lifetime of that plant, when the essential oils are extracted from that plant, could completely vary because the conditions are varying. So for someone to say lavender essential oil has this cause and effect for somebody, they can't really do that because there's no one single lavender essential oil. Scientifically, there's enough variation there that it's not all created equal. So I hope that makes sense when, why we're looking at there isn't regulation over essential oils, and there really can't be because there's so much diversity and variation, which isn't bad. It doesn't mean there isn't positive effect. It's just we can't make claims with any of the essential oils. And when there's research done on specific essential oils, we can see a general idea of how the constituents in that essential oil, which is the power of the essential oil, are affecting a body or affecting a person. And we can use that as education, but we can't scientifically associate that with all lavender that's out there. So sadly, because of that, there isn't regulation in the world with it. There just can't be. And because of that, there is a lot of different quality. Authentic essential oils are completely pure. You've extracted it specifically from the plant. You haven't used any solvents chemical solvents to extract the essential oil. You've just used natural processes, and there's nothing else in that essential oil. So that's authentic, and that's the kind of quality and purity that you're getting from Young Living. Manipulated, on the other hand, is going to be essential oils. Is going to be essential oils that have maybe had things stripped from them for their aroma to be more pleasant, or had things added to it. Maybe there is a carrier oil that dilutes the potency of that oil that's added into it. And that's going to be less expensive. So that's of more benefit to the company to sell that to you because they're making more of a profit. And then there's perfume, which isn't really essential oils at all, or maybe there's such a small percentage of the essential oil being used in that product. And then there's any kind of perfumes that are synthetic added into it. And then lastly is completely synthetic, where there's no essential oil in it whatsoever. There's no plant material, and it's something synthetically designed to smell like an essential oil. So all of that is permitted on the market. And it can be labeled as an essential oil if there is as little as 7% of plant material in that bottle. It can also be labeled as natural. That is not a regulated term. It can be labeled as therapeutic. That's also not a regulated term. So you don't want to just trust the labels. Even organic is misleading because the organic standard is on the natural plant material that's in that product, not everything that's in it. So that can be misleading. You won't see an organic label on Young Living's products because that is actually a lower standard than what their standards are. They actually ensure that for at least 50 years that the farm and land that they cultivate the plants on have not had any chemicals or pesticides, whereas it's only a few years with the US organic standards. So it doesn't do them any service to add an organic label to it either. So keep all of that in mind when you're looking at and assessing purity. Let me do a quick time check here. All right, we have about 20 minutes left. We're going good here. So what is Thieves? You keep hearing about the Thieves cleaning line. Thieves is specifically a Young Living company blend of essential oils. And forgot to grab the actual bottle here to tell you what is completely in it. I know I have the note here somewhere. I'm going to go off of memory. There's lemon, eucalyptus, clove, rosemary, and there may be one other ingredient, but those are the main ones. I think, and there might be cinnamon added into it. So based on the ingredients that I listed there, its aroma is sort of this sweet, spicy aroma, very pleasant for most people. Let's go. Let's actually just look at what the Thieves Cleaner does. So the Thieves essential oil blend is then infused in any of the Thieves cleaning line products. So in particular, I'm going to show you some footage and some photos of how Thieves Cleaner, all-purpose cleaner, was actually used. So let's take a look at that.
We're just going to scrub it and show you that it's not going anywhere. Like, this has been through multiple. It's one of those things where you scrub as hard as you can, it's not going anywhere, right? So we grab some baking soda. It's pure baking soda and Thieves. Now, we're not going to use all of this Thieves, but we'll pour a little bit of each in. And yep, just like a little sprinkle. We'll put a little bit of Thieves Cleaner in there. See if we can make some headway on this pan that's been through the dishwasher so many times. So if it's something that I just cook, I put a couple of drops of lemon, and lemon just makes that pan amazing. If it's something that has been there for a while, you can't get it up, this is my go-to. You want it to be paste? Rachel will even more, and she wants a nice, good paste. Yep. Now we're going to take it over to the sink. Just do a good rinse on it. Following the pan. Let's see, after multiple dishwasher loads and soap and all the other good things, what this really nasty non-snuffable pan looks like. Show you in 5, 4, 3, 2. Bam! Thieves Cleaner to the rescue.
Awesome. So I'm going to show you some other videos as well. On the left is the preview of the cleaning, and post cleaning on the right, nice and shiny. So one of the great ways to use Thieves if you need some more scrubbing action is just add a little bit of baking soda. And that's what was used here. Straight Thieves Cleaner. You also generally don't need to use it straight because it's quite concentrated. You take a capful of the all-purpose cleaner, you add it in, you can see this glass bottle in the photo on the right, add it into that glass bottle, fill that up with water, and then you have your cleaner that you can use on any of your surfaces. Need some scrubbing action, add a little bit of baking soda. Sometimes people add vinegar for other purposes too, but this is even great as a window cleaner. I was really skeptical because I'm like, there's essential oils in it, there's other plant material, how is this gonna work? But it does an amazing job on windows and mirrors and glass. So you can replace your window cleaner, you can replace your all-purpose cleaner, your cleaner for your tub, your tiles, your toilet bowl cleaner. All of that's going to be used with one product. So you're saving money by using one product, and you're also supporting your health because it has the essential oils in it as well. So you can see the tub. I mean, that's just amazing. And the pot on the right had I think somebody was experimenting. These aren't my photos, but I think it's burnt coffee grounds. So someone was probably like, I'm gonna just destroy this pot to the worst degree. And then I'm gonna spray some Thieves in it and see what happens. And you can see the results there. So how do you get started with the Thieves line? What's great is you have the option to get a starter kit from Young Living, which is only $125, and you're getting all of this stuff. You're getting 2 bottles of their all-purpose cleaner, mouthwash, toothpaste, 2 of the foaming hand soaps, 1 for your kitchen, 1 for your bathroom, 2 Thieves spray, which there's going to be a video talking a little bit about that spray. It has 70% alcohol in it. They're portable for you to take to the grocery store, any of the places where you need to spray and do a quick clean with all that we're dealing with in the world right now. Great thing to have. You also get 2 of the Thieves hand sanitizers, which kill 99.9% of germs, just like the other products, but you're not having the toxic chemicals in it. Most hand sanitizers on the market, especially Purell, have known carcinogens in them. So get rid of that, swap that out, get something that's infused with essential oils and natural products that's just as effective. So at the very end, I'm also going to talk a bit how you take the next steps to actually get the Young Living starter kit. Because of that bundle with the starter kit, you actually save more money. And because you become a member, when you get a starter kit, you're saving 24% going forward on any purchases. And just like we regularly need to replace or get new cleaning products or personal care products every month as we're using them up, a great option with Young Living is enrolling in their essential rewards, which I think the next slide talks about that. Essential Rewards is their monthly auto ship program. So when you sign up to get that starter kit, you have the option to enroll in Essential Rewards. And it's their loyalty program and it's their custom auto ship program. So what you do is you can select a custom order, or I'll go to the previous page. You can select the same exact bundle that you just got. So you got this starter kit bundle of all those things I just listed. And for next month's order, you can select the same exact thing and put that on your essential rewards order, and that ship out to you. And what you're doing there, you're getting enough of the supplies that you can replace all the stuff in your house. You can swap out a good portion of the stuff in your house. It really depends on what your needs are. I'll generally have, I think there's a list in here, how long it lasts. You're looking at, I won't specify it because I think every household's cleaning needs are different. So for me to say what I go through versus what you're going to go through is different. But in that bottle of Thieves Cleaner that you see there, you can get about 30 spray bottles out of that. And that also depends on how much you're needing to dilute it or concentrate it. For general cleaning, you actually only need a half of a capful in one of those smaller glass spray bottles, a full capful for a 16-ounce glass spray bottle. So if that gives you some kind of estimate of how much you're getting, and how much you need to budget in for all of that with your monthly orders. Keep in mind there's 600 other products. So if you're invested in living healthier and cleaner, this is about making lifestyle choices and being able to regularly swap stuff out that you're already using as you're running out of that stuff. Get something from Young Living that you're going to try out, see if you like it, learn about it, and start making those changes regularly. It's going to be your cleaning stuff. It's going to be your personal care stuff. It's going to be the oils instead of candles and air fresheners or perfumes. So those are all the things that you can look at with that monthly order. Great thing is you get 10% back the first 3 months that you're making a monthly order. After that, you get 20% back. So it's kind of a no-brainer. If you're really invested in making positive, healthy changes, get on that essential rewards, get 20% back. If you're making the minimum monthly order, which is a $50 a month minimum, you're already getting $10 back a month to use towards free products. So no brainer. Definitely opt into that. You can always customize your order. You can always change it. You can also always opt out. So if you find it's not really for you or you want to take a break from it, you can do that. You just want to make sure you use up your points before you take a break from it, because you'll lose it if you opt out of it. Okay, so what is the Thieves Cleaner used for? I mean, pretty much any of your cleaning needs. Your floors, your kitchen, your bathroom. The Thieves Cleaner isn't really what you're using in your laundry area. There's a Thieves laundry soap for that. There's a couple other dish soaps and things like that from the Thieves line that you can choose from. But the Thieves Cleaner replaces a lot of, I've replaced, I want to say at least 10 cleaning products with my Thieves Cleaner. So totally worth it, guys. Going to move ahead a little bit. So I do want to share a little bit of the history with Thieves. So that name, Thieves, comes from the founder, Gary Young, the founder of Young Living. His name is Gary Young. And he's worked in health and wellness and helping people heal like for a very long time. He's deceased now. But he was studying what was referred to as Marseille's vinegar. So in Marseille, France, dating back to plague times, this Marseille's vinegar or Four Thieves vinegar was being used during that time. In particular, it was used, or the ingredients used in that vinegar, the herbs used in that, were used by thieves that were robbing some of the plague victims. And they were caught by a judge, and the judge demanded to know what herbs they were using because they didn't get sick. And if they were able to do that, they had lesser charges as a result of that. So Gary Young did all this research on what was in that blend. And you can see here, this is an old clip from an era and some of his research that says what was in it. And he basically put together the Thieves blend based on his research with that. Okay, I'm going to show you another video here, which I believe is, yes, this is about how to use the hand sanitizer and the Thieves spray that I talked about.
Hi, everyone. It seems like lately everyone is worried about transmission of diseases. And I just was looking at the CDC, or the Center for Disease Control's website, and they have some really good recommendations on how you can mitigate transmitting diseases. One of the main things they recommend is hand washing, believe it or not. They recommend using a good soap. I just happen to have one here. And it's interesting to note that most people actually wash their hands the wrong way. We tend to do this underwater, and that's actually wrong, because what we're doing is washing the back surfaces of our hands, when the important part of our hands to clean are the surfaces that touch things. So it's the fingertips and the thumb. So we should really be doing this underwater. And the CDC says to use a good soap under running water for at least 20 seconds. And really scrub your fingertips, and then scrub under your nails, and then rinse thoroughly. Because that's how we transmit disease. We tend to touch things and then touch our faces. And particularly touching your eyes is a great way to get an infection quickly. So they recommend hand soap and washing thoroughly. If you're not at a place where you can access soap and water, they also recommend using hand sanitizers with alcohol levels higher than 60%, like our Thieves hand sanitizer. And again, they recommend using plenty of hand sanitizer to thoroughly wet your hands, and then rubbing your hands and especially your fingertips and thumbs together until they're dry, to let that alcohol have a good effect. And finally, they also have some really good information about sanitizing the surfaces around you. And they recommend using sanitizers with at least 70% ethanol, like our Thieves spray. And they recommend spraying surfaces liberally and then wiping them thoroughly. So I hope you'll all practice these tips, and we can really avoid transmission of pathogens.
So that was Dr. Mike Book from Young Living's. He's the chief science officer. So he's a doctor, and he explores all the science and informs the products that are used as well. So I think that was some great information, and obviously timely with all the stuff that we're dealing with. Here's another video about the effectiveness of the Thieves Cleaner as well.
This nasty chicken on my counter. Get it really good and slimy. And then I'm going to do the first test just to see that it's dirty. So to swab the surface, and then when I put it into the little solution, it will turn a color. Green means clean, and then the darker purple it gets, the dirtier it is. So snap it into the solution, and then, oh, it didn't go in. There we go. And shake it for 5 seconds. And you can see it's a dark purple. So it's contaminated, it's not a clean surface. There is really chicken juice all over. I'm gonna give that a quick wipe. Get some of the chicken juice up. And spray it down with our Thieves. Let it sit for just a second. So this is what we use everywhere in our house. In the kitchen,
everything. And I've always trusted that it worked, but I know a lot of people kind of wanted proof. It's kind of hard to believe that cleaning with plants is just as effective as the chemical cleaners that you find in the grocery store. Okay, so we've wiped it down with the Thieves Cleaner. Now we have the second test swab. Oh wait, you're supposed to put water on it. It's not supposed to be dry. So, because that's a dry surface now, I'm just letting it with water. And now I can swab it. Okay. And again, just dumping it into the solution. Quick shake. And you can see it's green. So the green means clean, and you can see that was the purple when it was contaminated, and then the green after the feed.
I always love showing that video. It's like, wow, that is some obvious evidence there. So very exciting. And here's the ingredients. So that also lists the essential oils, lemon, clove, cinnamon. I did get it all right. And the other ingredients, all of which are derived from plants. And that's the ingredient list for the all-purpose cleaner. The cost is also efficient and effective for you to be the most economical. The Thieves Cleaner, you're looking at 5 cents per ounce as opposed to other organic alternatives that are 27 cents per ounce. So I'm going to skip ahead a bit as we're running out of time. Let's see. I'm actually going to go way to the end here. Here we go. So now that you kind of heard about all of it, it's a matter of what you do next. So I hope that with this information, you've found steps that you can take. You can go to that database. You can, not so great at multitasking here. All right, I'm not going to be able to put that up on the screen because I can't figure out how right this second, but I hope that you can see this well enough. There we go, we'll zoom in a bit. So you can take the steps of doing a bit more research, go to that environmental working group database, start looking at and thinking more, being more aware of what you're using, take an inventory of the products you're using in your home. And if you're ready to get started with natural products, here's how you do it. Go directly to Young Living's website, youngliving.com. Click on the Become a Member tab, and then you're gonna see a couple different tabs there that you can click on. Look for the Thieves Premium Starter Kit. So you have a couple options of a couple different kits. I do other classes on using essential oils in your everyday living, or Essential Oils 101, where I talk about Young Living's essential oil premium starter kit, which has 12 different oils in a diffuser. So if you want to look into those options, get to those classes or those recordings. I also do an affordable healthy living class where I go through, if you're interested in Young Living, here's all your options and steps that you can take to get started. And the best, most economical way to get started is by becoming a member. And the only requirement to become a member is to get one of the starter kits. So when you do that, becoming a member simply means that you now have access to wholesale discount, 24% discount throughout your lifetime. If you don't make a Young Living order within a year, your account will go inactive. All you got to do is put in a $50 order to reactivate it and get access. Most people don't do that because you're using the product. So that's kind of the point of it. You become a member, you get that wholesale discount, and you do so by getting one of the starter kits. So that's the most economical route to go, because if you're getting individual products, and you're not going the route of starting with a starter kit, you're paying 24% more. And all of the starter kits are designed, no matter what your needs are, to meet those needs and to bundle products together in the most discounted way. So some of the starter kits, if you were just to get individual from the company, you're actually going to be spending hundreds more. So the starter kits and the collections are discounted to encourage people to kind of have all that they need to get started with the company. Then you have that option of opting into the essential rewards, which we really encourage, because off the bat, you're getting 10% back to use towards free products. At some point, you'll be asked to enter in my enroller and sponsor number, which is 1077-4919. So again, that's 1077-4919. So you want to enter that in, and that simply means I'm going to be assigned to you as your contact person to continue to support you in your education, your product needs, your questions, and you get access to my Oils Wonderland team and my community of people just like you who are trying to make positive changes in their life. And honestly, like, we've really become family. So it's a great way to get connected with other people. And we have exclusive team events and team meetings, and also a lot of private or individual education and one-on-one stuff with people on the team. So you get a lot of added benefit there as well. Then you just complete the enrollment and you're really good to go at that point. If you have any questions whatsoever about any of this, or enrolling or getting a starter kit, feel free to reach out to me, Amy Lore, at oilswonderlandteam@gmail.com. So that is Amy Lore. There you go, oilswonderlandteam@gmail.com. And make note of my member ID number there if you decide to get a starter kit. And please reach out if you have any questions. So I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to come back in.